What is up, survivors? We are back again for another mod review, and well, you know, let's say you're looking for a giant thing that likes to eat stuff and harvest stuff and is a kind of an end-all be-all sort of critter. If you're looking for something like that in your server, in your single player, or whatever, you're looking for something like this Draconiasaurus. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is this an awesome looking creature, but I also pronounced the name correctly. It happens. Doesn't happen very often. When it does, I have to take full advantage of it. These guys are an interesting breed of cross of a lot of things. It kind of reminds me of the Ark Draconiasaurus from the Ark editions. It's definitely got some T-Rex looks to it. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. It definitely picks and pulls, and there's some custom work done on these guys, but they're huge carnivore creatures. These are not based off of anything specifically that used to exist like a lot of these other mod creatures will do. This is something purely made up by the creator, and we'll have a link to their workshop in the description of the video so you can check that out. But you can see the giant ankylosaurus kind of like tail. Its stance almost reminds me of an allosaurus, a little bit leaned down maybe, but the size is definitely more Ark Draconiasaurus is kind of what I'm thinking of from the Ark Editions mod, and a little bit of T-Rex, maybe a little bit of Spino in the neck, but all in all, it's a pretty good sculpt. The saddle is, the saddle's not bad either. I think it's kind of bland a little bit, and I don't mean to sound harsh with that. It's just simply that there's so much detail going on with the critter, and the critter looks so cool that the saddle kind of takes away from it a little bit. Like if we go up and take this, let's take the saddle off of here. I might have been running around killing stuff with this one, but this, like, to look at what this guy is, I mean, the saddle doesn't really seem to do it justice in my opinion. I don't know, maybe a smaller saddle right around this area might have been something more. I don't know. I'm not a mod creator. I don't know. It's a lot of work. I'm not trying to downplay anybody's good hard work, because this is an awesome sculpt and it's an awesome critter. So let's slap this back on here now. These guys will predominantly spawn in the mountains, mountainy sort of areas is where you typically see them. I saw them in the mountain areas out here on the island. And this is a level 1 that I have in front of me just so we can check its stats on here. So these are level 1 stats. And that's not too bad. 1800 health. Stamina's not too terrible. Weight pretty even. It's not a bad critter. It's not a bad critter as far as the stats go, and it levels pretty well too. So let's look at like what sort of damage we do with. So the regular bite attack, which is your normal attack. Why isn't my damage? Why are my damage numbers showing up here? What's going on with that? Oh, probably because I have my HUD turned off. Sorry, so we're doing like 100, 105. Let's go bite something else. About 100. So 100 damage stock. So this thing is definitely pumping out a ridiculous amount of damage. You get these guys level to do some hilarious stuff. So definitely more of an alpha predator that's out here. I have noticed just by roaming around, it does look like it does have that alpha predator buff. Like a lot of the smaller carnivores leave me alone. Nothing really comes after me too terribly much unless it's something around the same size. You have a lot of different attacks. You have that standard bite attack. Now it's worded in the description of this guy that bite is supposed to do something. Like it's supposed to be like a poisonous corrosive bite. I'm assuming that just justifies the extra damage, because it doesn't seem like it does anything. I didn't see any bleed effect. It doesn't do any torpor effect, and it doesn't seem to slow anything down. As you can see, well, he's just dead because the terror birds are ripping him apart, but nothing too particular. Its stamina's not. The stamina management of this guy is going to be a little bit high. You're going to want something with a decent amount of stamina when you're using them. And one of the other backfalls to this, I would say, is that the turning radius is atrocious. Like when it turns, it has to turn a lot slower. It doesn't seem like it moves that fast, but it takes a really long step, so you can actually cover a lot more ground than you think you're covering. The animation looks clean while it's running. The tail looks a little... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's just the camera angle. I was about to say that the tail looked a little static, but it really doesn't. No, it's doing its thing. Yeah. All right, so we have that attack. We have the standard left click bite. Now we have the right click does this tail whip attack. That's right. This guy will harvest stuff for you with the tail attack. He'll harvest metal. He'll harvest stone. It's kind of like a pickaxe essentially. So think of him like an anklo-tail. He'll harvest metal, flint, and stuff for you. A little bit of stone. And thatch and a little bit of wood as well. Now he has that swipe attack where he just swipes the tail. It doesn't seem to matter which way you face him. I know with the anklo and stuff like that, sometimes you could face him a different way and he would swing the tail a different way. Looks like he always swings the tail this way, but it's like an AoE thing, so whatever's in range is going to get hit. So you have that tail attack as well. You also have this cool little attack that's your C. He jumps, does a 180, and just kind of flaps down with it, which I think is really cool. He just jumps in the air and does a full 180. Boop! And he'll still do, it still counts as the tail attack to actually harvest stuff as well. So it's kind of neat. Boom. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. I like it. I like the little extra attacks. It seems like they still do mining things, and that's pretty much it. But it's a predator. It's a pretty alpha predator that can still harvest stuff for you. Now, I mean, obviously he's a guy's a carnivore, so he's gonna eat meat, stuff like that. He's not gonna harvest berries for you, but the stuff that you would normally get an anklo to harvest for you, this guy can definitely harvest. The backfall obviously is that he doesn't get any weight reduction on anything, so that would be your tipping point, you know, where an anklo would clearly be better, where the anklo gets better weight reduction on stuff. Clearly better than this guy does, but to be able to level up his stats, you know, I mean, he doesn't level up too terribly bad. His health levels up really well. At first I thought this was going to be a pretty overpowered guy, but he's not really. He's definitely better than a lot of other stuff, but there's definitely some faults. The slow turning radius means the little stuff can get up underneath his legs, and I actually saw it happen to a wild one. He got creatures stuck up underneath his legs and he wasn't able to attack them. They do come in a variety of different colors, as you can see, and also gender, so you can actually breed these guys. Let's leave you two here. I think I saw one on the mountain over here, and we'll talk about how we go about taming them. They're straight. I think he was over here. Where was he? It's kind of hard to miss a giant lizard. There's my little scorpion guy there. There he is. So, his torpor is still going down from earlier. Probably he was in stasis because this is just single player. But anyway, you'll have to knockout tame these guys, and you're going to have to bring a lot of knockout darts. Like, look at this guy's torpor. Like, he has 8,000 health, but he has 40,000 torpor. So, be prepared to spend a lot of tranks to take these guys out. This is not going to be an easy defeat. But you can see in the wild where they get cornered with critters like this, and they can't necessarily get up into them. So they definitely run that risk of getting crowded by smaller animals like wolves and stuff like that. And as you can see by the spyglass, he tames with normal meat, and exceptional kibble is the kibble that they prefer. Waiting to see if... Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't go up very high. You're going to be out here tranking these guys for a while. I would highly recommend bringing advanced weaponry, shocking trank darts with better rifles out to bear against something like this. That's your best bet. That's your best bet with these guys. But afterwards, it's just a matter of taming them, just like normal. You put the taming food in them. I like this creature. I'm gonna go back to the ones we had, but that's pretty much it. He's a standard knockout tame. He's nothing too complicated. Pretty cut and dry. So pros and cons. Obviously, this thing's a little overpowered as far as damage goes. These guys can be pumping out a lot of damage. The slow turning radius, the stamina management does kind of balance it out a little bit, but not a lot. You still got a creature that's pretty unstoppable once it gets going. Imagine having a couple of these running around. These are pretty great. Combine that with something like the upgrade station mod, where you can get ascended saddles on these guys, and they're pretty much going to rule just about anything you throw at it. When you're pumping out 100 damage base, that's nothing to laugh. That's nothing to snuff at. Obviously, being able to harvest stuff too makes this another creature that would be able to help you harvest stuff on the rush. Maybe not a lot, but if you're out and about and you find some stuff, being able to do that and bring it back with you, and not having to get off this guy, so you're pretty safe. Means that something like this does have its place, but it's not going to be your stock resource harvesting dino. You're still going to want the good resource harvesting dinos, because they're going to get the weight reduction, so they're going to be able to carry a lot more. That's pretty much how that's going to go. All in all, I do like the sculpt. The sculpt looks good, and I'm gonna hold still. I'm gonna tell you to stop looking at me, so you stop moving at me while I'm looking at you. I like the sculpt. The color on, I think honestly it's just the funky colors on this one that make it look a little weird because we got some crazy color scheme with it. But the sculpt looks good. It's got details in it. I like the eyes. Look at you, and you're even blinking. But it looks great. It's detailed really well. It seems like it fits in with the Ark stuff a lot more. With the exception of the ankylotail, actually, you know, if you look at this thing from the front end, it does look like something that would probably exist. It's really, once you get to that back tail, you're like, really, you got both of these? But anyway, all in all, really good looking creature, really good looking sculpt. And like I said, I think that's just because of the crazy color variation. When we look at something like this that looks a bit more natural, this looks pretty impressive. That's the name of the game. Terror birds chasing parasaurs. That's just how that goes. It's a constant thing. There's some constants in Ark, and that's going to be one of them. Terror birds are going to terrorize. But this is the Draconiasaurus. It's a pretty... Oh, I would recommend this mod. I would. I think there's pros and cons, things I like, things I don't like, but all in all, I think it adds another level of more critters on the map and something else to prepare for, and a little bit of variety. I like interesting creatures. I think my two gripes, my two criticisms would be, I wish the saddle was something on par with the rest of the creature. It doesn't seem to be, I don't know, it just seems like the creature is like a 10 to me, and the saddle's maybe like a 7 or an 8, you know, like or like a 6 or a 7 maybe. Like I feel like it's missing that one thing, maybe a little bit of detail that could have made it look a lot cooler. Not to say, I hate saying this stuff like that because I feel like a dick. People have put in a lot of work on this. It's an awesome sculpt. Let's put that at the forefront. It's an awesome sculpt. I just really wish the saddle would have matched. Would have been an awesome saddle. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No offense, no offense. Don't anybody hunt me down or anything. I mean, predominantly that's really it. It's just the appearance of the saddle really doesn't do much for me. Outside of that, I think the motions when it's moving look great. I think the roar animation looks really good too. Let me shift back around to this. This roar animation now actually looks pretty good. Oh, look at that mouth. He's so mad. Can I get another shot? Oh, yeah. All right. So he does have that roar animation. That looks awesome. Like, definitely feels like, I don't know, like a dragon and a T-Rex a little bit. Awesome. So the animations are great. I mean, the idleness is perfect. The sounds aren't too terribly loud other than when it roars, and let's be honest, you kind of want it to be loud when that happens. All in all, I love this creature. I think he turns out pretty good. I would recommend this one to anybody looking for some additional creatures. And even while it's technically not an animal that really existed, I think it does fit out here perfectly well. And the artwork, I mean, like the sculpt of the creature, how it looks, definitely matches what you would expect out of the Ark universe. So, all in all, guys, I would definitely recommend this one. I think you should check it out, the Draconiasaurus. Now, we'll have a link to the Steam Workshop in the description of the video, so you guys can check that out at your leisure. And if you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, so you can see when the next videos are coming out. Feel free to follow me here, follow me on Twitter, and also check out our Discord, because we stream out here on YouTube Friday and Saturday and Sunday nights. But that's it, guys. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And until next time.